Thanksgiving dinner at Mom's house smelled like turkey and resentment. 17 family members around the table, china plates reflecting candlelight. Everything looked perfect. Everything felt wrong. My sister Victoria stood up during dessert, wine glass in hand, smile sharp as broken glass. "I have an announcement," she said, voice carrying that edge she used closing deals at her hedge fund. She made $340,000 annually. Mentioned it often. "I've done something necessary to protect our family reputation." Everyone looked at her. Mom set down her fork. "Ryan's been running his little veterans charity for 6 years now." Victoria made air quotes. "Living in that apartment making $49,000 a year. It's embarrassing. Makes our family look desperate." My chest tightened. I sat across from her holding coffee I hadn't touched. "So I reported him to the IRS for tax fraud and embezzlement. Full investigation starts Monday morning. 9 a.m. Finally we can stop pretending this isn't a scam tarnishing the family name." The table erupted in applause. Mom stood up to hug Victoria. My brother Marcus raised his glass. "About damn time. Uncle Richard, these fake charities are always money laundering. Cousin Beth, thank God Victoria protected us." They toasted. Champagne glasses clinking while my sister celebrated reporting me to federal authorities. Victoria looked directly at me. "You're welcome. When they find whatever you're hiding, you'll thank me for intervening before criminal charges became worse." I set down my coffee. Stood up. Walked out without a word. Behind me I heard Mom, so dramatic. "This is why we had to act." Veterans Haven operated 6 housing properties across the city. 48 units total serving combat veterans experiencing homelessness. My salary was $49,000 annually because that's what the budget allowed while maintaining services. Comparable positions paid $140,000 to $180,000. I'd chosen this work. We'd housed 427 veterans over 6 years. Our success rate, 83% transitioning to permanent housing within 16 months. Our program efficiency, 91 cents per dollar going directly to services. We operated on $2.4 million annual funding, federal grants, state contracts, private foundations, individual donors. There's a psychological concept called projection. People attribute their own motivations to others. Victoria measured worth by salary and status. My choices didn't compute in her worldview. Therefore I must be hiding something. Therefore she needed to expose me. I'd been feeding the family approval slot machine for 34 years. Every quarter dropped in, every achievement, every sacrifice. I told myself this would be the pull that paid out acceptance. Victoria had just set the machine on fire. Monday morning arrived cold and gray. IRS Special Agent James Rodriguez appeared at 8:58 a.m., late 30s, federal credentials, briefcase that meant serious business. His handshake was firm, his expression unreadable. "Mr. Taylor. I'm here regarding complaint #2024 IR 7392. Allegations of tax fraud, embezzlement and misuse of nonprofit status involving Veterans Haven. Everything's documented and ready. Our office occupied the ground floor of our main property. Converted apartment building, high ceilings, walls covered with photos. Success wall we called it. Veterans on move-in day. Job training graduations. Keys to permanent apartments. 6 years of moments when homelessness ended. I'd spent Sunday organizing. 6 years of records. Every 990 form, every audit report, every bank statement, every grant agreement. Boxes stacked on the conference table. James set up methodically. Laptop folders, recording device. Started reviewing files. His face revealed nothing. Trained federal neutrality. "Your salary," he said after 20 minutes. $49,000 annually. "Yes." Market rate for executive directors of veteran service organizations this size typically ranges from $140,000 to $180,000. "I'm aware." He made notes. Pulled transaction records from our emergency assistance fund. $500 disbursements for security deposits, work tools, professional licenses. Each documented with veteran intake forms, case manager approvals, outcome tracking. "You operate 6 properties. 48 housing units total." "Correct. All owned by the organization." Purchased through HUD-VSH grants and VA Supportive Services funding. James pulled property records. Acquisition costs, valuations, maintenance logs. Everything transparent, documented exactly as required. He stood up. Walked to the success wall. Moved slowly along the timeline. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Stopped at a photo from December 2019. Move-in day Unit 4B. Man in his early 30s, Marine Corps tattoo visible on his forearm, holding keys and smiling despite exhaustion in his eyes. James's hand came up slowly. Touched the photo frame. His finger landed on that specific face. "That's me," he said quietly. The world stopped. 5 years ago I was homeless. Marine Corps veteran, 2 deployments, Afghanistan. Came back with PTSD, traumatic brain injury. Lost my accounting job when I punched a wall during a flashback. Lost my apartment when savings ran out. Ended up in my car for 7 months. He turned to look at me. His eyes were wet. "VA caseworker gave me your number. I called on a Tuesday afternoon sitting in a Walmart parking lot, convinced my life was over. I was 32 years old and sleeping in a 2004 Honda Civic." I remembered. Every call. Every person. The weight of that specific conversation. The sound of someone trying not to cry while explaining they didn't know how to survive another day. "You said we had an apartment available. You said, you served with honor. Now let us serve you with the same." I moved in that afternoon. Unit 4B. 1 bedroom, furnished, window that overlooked trees instead of parking lots. His voice cracked on trees. "I stayed 19 months. Your case manager Patricia helped me navigate VA disability benefits I didn't know existed. Your employment counselor connected me with federal job training programs. Your trauma therapist helped me understand that asking for help wasn't weakness." James pulled out his IRS credentials. Special Agent, Criminal Investigation Division. 7 years with the Bureau. "I'm alive because of this place. Because you answered that phone. Because someone believed I was worth saving when I'd stopped believing it myself. I'm a federal agent now investigating financial crimes because you gave me Unit 4B and a chance to rebuild." He walked back to the conference table. Sat down. "Professional armor rebuilt. I've spent 6 hours reviewing your financial records. Every bank statement, vendor contract, payroll record, grant report going back 6 years. I've verified every transaction against receipts. I've cross-referenced your 990 forms against federal and state filings." He pulled out an official folder, IRS seal embossed on the cover. "Veterans Haven has served 427 veterans over 6 years. Your program efficiency is 91%. 91 cents per dollar goes directly to services. Federal benchmark is 65%. You exceed that by 26 percentage points. Your success rate shows 83% of residents successfully transition to permanent housing within 16 months. National average for veteran housing programs is 47%. His voice shifted, harder, federal authority replacing personal gratitude. "Your sister Victoria Taylor filed complaint #2024 R7392 alleging tax fraud, embezzlement and fraudulent nonprofit operations. The complaint suggested you were using this organization as a front for criminal activity and that your low salary indicated hidden compensation." James slid the folder across. It hit my coffee mug, ceramic with "Home of the Brave" printed on the side, gift from a resident who'd moved into permanent housing 3 years ago. I opened it. The summary was highlighted. "After comprehensive investigation of financial records, organizational documents and operational procedures, this office finds no evidence of fraud, embezzlement, tax evasion, or criminal activity. Veterans Haven operates with exceptional transparency and effectiveness. Subject Ryan Taylor has demonstrated exemplary fiscal stewardship and personal integrity. This complaint is unfounded and closed with prejudice." "There's more," James said. "When I verified your personal financial records as part of standard protocol, I found something requiring additional documentation." He pulled out bank statements. "My statements. Highlighted transactions. 21 transfers over 6 years. $52,300 total. All to family members. Victoria Taylor, $23,400. Your mother, $18,200. Your brother Marcus, $10,700. He laid them out chronologically. Victoria's emergency business loan, $12,000. Mom's property taxes, $8,600. Marcus's car repair, $4,200. Smaller amounts scattered between. You were financially supporting the people who reported you for embezzlement, while earning $49,000 annually, while working documented average of 54 hours per week. James's jaw tightened, that micro-expression of controlled rage. Your sister needs to hear these findings directly. I'm required to notify complainants. Can you call her? Victoria arrived 40 minutes later with Mom and Marcus. All three walked in with that confidence of people expecting vindication. Well, Victoria demanded. What did you find? James stood. Professional. Immovable. I found that your brother runs one of the most effective veteran service organizations I've investigated in 7 years with the IRS. Victoria blinked. But, the salary. It doesn't make financial sense. It makes perfect sense, James said coldly. He earns $49,000 because that's what the budget allows while maximizing service delivery. He could earn $180,000 elsewhere. He chooses this work. He pulled out my bank statements, slid them across. He also provided $52,300 in financial support to all of you over 6 years, while you reported him for embezzlement. The room went silent. Outside, traffic hummed. Inside, my family's faces went pale. We didn't. Mom started. Stopped. You didn't ask, James said sharply. You saw a salary you didn't understand and filed federal complaints alleging criminal activity. You triggered an IRS investigation that could have destroyed an organization serving 427 combat veterans. He opened another folder. I reviewed all your financial records. Victoria, you earned $340,000 annually. You received $23,400 in loans, never repaid. Your Instagram shows a $12,000 handbag purchased 1 month after receiving the largest loan from Ryan. Victoria's face flushed. Gloria Taylor, you own a home valued at $680,000. You take 4 international trips annually. Yet you requested $18,200 from your son for emergency property taxes while he earned $49,000. Mom's hands trembled. Marcus Taylor, you earn $94,000. You received $10,700 for various emergencies. Your social media shows you purchased a $8,400 motorcycle 2 months later. James pulled out official documents. I'm forwarding findings to the Department of Treasury with a recommendation that Veterans Haven receive federal commendation for program excellence. Your brother will be nominated for the National Veterans Service Award. He looked at my family. Expression carved from stone. I'm also filing a report with the Treasury Inspector General regarding malicious false reporting. Filing fraudulent IRS complaints wastes federal resources and constitutes a violation of federal law. Penalties include fines up to $5,000 each and potential criminal charges. You can't, Victoria started. I already did. You'll receive notification within 10 business days. James walked to the success wall. Touched that 2019 photo again. 5 years ago I was sleeping in my car in a Walmart parking lot. Your brother answered my call, gave me Unit 4B, helped me rebuild my entire life. I'm a federal agent now because of what he did. He turned back to Victoria. You tried to destroy that because you couldn't understand why someone would choose purpose over profit. You measured his worth by his apartment size instead of his impact on 427 combat veterans who served this country. James picked up his briefcase, shook my hand. Mr. Taylor, thank you for your service to those who served. Unit 4B, December 2019. That's still me. That will always be me. He walked out. The door closed with finality. I looked at my family. They looked smaller. Ryan, we didn't mean. Mom started. Yes, you did. My voice was steady. You reported me to federal authorities because my life didn't make sense in your framework. You tried to destroy everything I built because you couldn't comprehend sacrifice for something larger than yourself. I pulled out cease and contact letters prepared this morning. Legal notification. You're not to contact me, visit these properties, or mention this organization publicly. Any violation will be reported. You're our family, Victoria's voice cracked. You reported me for crimes. You publicly celebrated it. You toasted with champagne while trying to destroy housing for 427 veterans. I walked to the door. Opened it. Unit 4B. That's where James lived when he had nothing. That's where transformation started. You'll never understand what that means. They left. I watched them go, then closed the door. 6 months later, I stood at the VA National Conference receiving the Veterans Service Excellence Award. Veterans Haven had expanded, $890,000 in new federal funding, 8 properties, 64 units. James's commendation led to Treasury recognition, which led to national press, which led to transformative funding. My phone had 12 blocked numbers. Victoria, Mom, Marcus, relatives who wanted me to reconsider. The Treasury Inspector General had fined each of them $5,000 for fraudulent reporting. Their names appeared in public records. Victoria's hedge fund clients noticed. Mom's country club friends asked questions. Marcus lost a promotion. I felt nothing about their consequences, just recognition that actions have results. At the ceremony, James sat in the second row. When I made eye contact, he smiled. Stood for the ovation. After I drove to our newest property. Monday evening, 6:15 p.m. A veteran stood outside, 40s, duffel bag, Marine Corps hat, that look of someone who'd run out of options. You have space, he asked quietly. We always have space, I said. Come inside. This was the work. This was worth every dollar I didn't earn, every family relationship I lost, every investigation I survived. The account with my family is closed. The balance is zero. And I am finally free. Unit 4B. That's where James stood 5 years ago. That's where hundreds have stood since. That's where this Marine will stand next month, smiling, belonging to something that believed he was worth saving. That's home.